Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Wednesday, March 29th, and we are here trying to answer your financial questions. And the biggest question probably is on your mind is, how can I actually join Jill and Mark live for that webinar with Ed Slott that's happening tomorrow night? You still can do it. There is time. You can subscribe to our news service. It's called Jill on Money Live. And this is where you have access to these quarterly live webinars for $35. How great is that? If you just want to do this one, it's $10. But I think that 35 is a pretty good deal. So check it out. It's going to be so much fun. I better prep for that, Mark. I mean, I know it really doesn't require me to prep a lot to talk to Ed Slott because he is a wind him up and he just talks kind of guy. But it's going to be so much fun. I have my big areas that I've already been thinking about what I want to talk to him about. Tax season upon us.
I should probably reach out to Ed and just confirm that he's good to go.
Yeah, that would be good because otherwise we're going to have someone standing in for Ed Slott. Mark, you should do that for sure. Anyway, if you've got a financial question, if you have a tax question, if you have a Roth question, and if you have a reset question, if you are interested in a great money reset and you've already bought the book, The Great Money Reset, and you just need to work it out yourself, well, give us a holler. Just go to jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button. Let us know if you'd be willing to come on the air, and we can walk you through it. Today, we are talking to Linda, who is talking to us from California. Hi, Linda. How are you?
I'm great. Good to be here with you.
Well, tell us what's going on. How can we help you out?
Yes. So I am planning on retiring in little over a year. Okay. And as a good student, I've been trying to learn everything I can and prepare so I can actually do this. And I get a little bit of information and I start saying, okay, I'm going to do that. And then I start, wait a minute, is that really what I should be doing?
Wait.
I got to call Jill and Mark.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you did. Linda, how old are you?
I am 56.
56. You're very young to think about retirement. What do you do? Do you have a job with a big fat pension?
I do.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it, baby.
Yeah. I'm in education. So next year I will have 30 years in education. So
wow. And what will your pension be?
My pension, if I start pulling it when I retire in June of 24, will be just over $10,000 a month pre-tax.
Wow. Is there an incentive to wait?
Well, yes. The pension is based on years of service, your income, and an age factor.
So what's like the magic, like where you're like if you were to wait till, I don't know, what's the next hurdle, like 62 or 60? Where does it start to really look different?
Well, it goes up every year between now and 62 if I waited. And so that is really one of my questions that I'm struggling with is, so if I wait one more year, just on the age factor, my pension would go up just over $8,000 for the year.
Oh my God. Oh, wait a minute. So if you're telling me you retire next year, right? But you wait and pull the trigger instead of pulling this at June 2024, that you wait until June of 25. You're telling me that it's another 666. It's like instead of 10,000 and change, it's like $10,700 a month?
Correct.
Do you happen to have the number at age 62, just out of curiosity?
I've looked at that and I'm like, I just can't do it that much longer.
Okay.
Put it out of my head. I'm like,
okay.
But do you have to be working or do you just have to wait until you actually tap it?
Well, if I was working, then two of the factors would go up, right? Because my years of service would increase. So it would go up even more if I worked one more year.
But if you retire next year, but don't touch it till 62, it still increases every year?
Yes.
That's the number I'd like to know. What does it look like at 62? Like, does it go from 10,000 to 13,000?
That's what I want to know. Right. I'm interested. I think it's worth getting the number just so we have a frame of reference, but we're not going to do it based on that. Let's just talk about what you have now. Okay. And are you married? Are you single? What's your story?
I am single.
Mm-hmm. Do you have kids?
I have one daughter. Yes.
How old?
23.
Launched, needs help. What?
She is starting grad school in a couple of months. So.
I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. That was already, it sounded expensive to you, but I hope not. Is it being paid for by someone else?
I have saved $36,000 to help her, and on track to save another $36,000 this year, and then she's going to take out loans for the rest.
Wait a second. How much money do you earn, Linda?
I earn about $180,000 a year.
And how much money is in your retirement plans? Like whether they're Roth or pre-tax, what have you saved on that 180?
So I have a 403B that by retirement, if the market doesn't continue to tank, I should have about $250,000 in that. Mm-hmm. I do have liquid about $332,000, which is separate from the $36,000 I have saved for her college. I do also have some rental properties.
Oh, hold it. Mark, rental properties. Did you get that? Let me go back before I do our rental properties. Your primary residence, how much would you say it's worth? Just guess.
About $1 million.
Is there a mortgage outstanding on it?
I owe $218,000.
Do you happen to know the interest rate?
3.125.
Okay, great. Now let's do the rental property. T's, plural. Rental property number one. How much is it worth?
Well, let me explain that. I have one rental property that's mine.
Yeah.
That I own solely, and that's worth about $900,000.
Holy cow! What's the mortgage on that?
0.
Oh, brother. Okay, how much does that after management or expenses of this? What does that cash flow to you?
About $2,000 a month.
That's not that much, considering it's a $900,000 property.
Yeah. I'm not I'm a sucker of a landlord.
I've never had a landlord like you. God bless you. And then do you co-own rental property with someone else?
Yeah, there's a few rental properties that my father owned, and me and my siblings are now part owners in those since he passed, which generates about another $1,600 a month for me.
Would you sell that $900,000 property or not?
If I needed to.
You don't have to, though. And you want to stay in your primary, or could you move into your $900,000 rental?
I would want to stay in my primary.
Okay, fine. But we don't have to worry about liquidating this. You got plenty of money, I know. You should raise the rent a little bit. Okay, so now we've got all this money. It's crazy.
I should say I have a brokerage account with about $60,000 in it.
That's in addition to when you said you had liquid. The liquid, the 330, is that cash?
It's in treasury ladders, CD ladders, and some just in a high yield savings account.
Oh, great. That's a nice chunk of moolah. What was the intention? Like live on that for a couple of years, or for what? Why so much liquidity in there?
Well, because, on something I heard you should have like 3 years of money liquid in retirement so that you don't have to pull from your investment accounts.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. 3 is more than I would say. I usually would say 1 to 2. What do you suspect is your real spend per year? Because, I mean, if you were to retire, we're talking about you're going to work 1 full year and then retire June 2024, right?
You'll have health care?
I will.
Oh, that's so good. Okay. Now, at that point, how much money do you need to live on?
I'm estimating $124,000 a year.
Well, you're done. You're all set. You have 10 grand a month. Worst case scenario, if we can't convince you to work a little bit more, 10 grand a month from the pension. You got 2 grand a month from your rental, $1,600 a month from the other rentals. So, it seems to me that you got $13,000, $13,600 a month pre-tax. That should kind of get you there, no?
I think so. But so here's my question that I'm thinking about, right? Because in listening to you guys, I've learned about IRMA and trying to manage my taxes. So prior to learning that, I was thinking, the $250,000 I have in my 403B is like bonus money. I don't need it. And then, starting to recognize required minimum distributions. And when that hits, like.
Yeah, but that's not till you're 75.
I know. But then I thought, well, wait a minute. Would it be smarter? First, I was thinking, I'll start converting that to Roth 403B when I retire, or retirement account, whatever you call it. But then I was like, okay, taxes are changing. How do I make this all work? And am I going to put myself in a higher tax bracket? And then I thought, well, would it be smarter to delay my pension for a year in my first year of retirement, pull from my 403B, and then get that extra $600 and some a month by waiting a year?
Yes.
There you go. I knew Mark was about to jump in there, so I'm not even looking at him. I just sort of sat back in my chair and said, here he goes. And maybe do it 2 years.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
There's a possibility here that you could, I don't know what these numbers are, but you could empty out the 403B, pay the tax that's due each of the next 2 years, use that money to live on, be done. You don't even have minimum. You're done with your required minimum distributions. Fantastic. By the way, don't be putting you don't even need to worry about putting money into the 403B at this point for the next year. You work for another year, 24, right? And it's June of 24. You don't really want to do this in the year 2024 because you're still making a lot of money. You could pull some money out, not a lot in the year of 2024. I would not take that pension probably till 26, and I would empty out the 403B.
So I have been paying an extra $1,000 a month on my mortgage.
Stop doing that immediately.
I will tell you, last month I didn't. From listening to you, it was my first time. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to pay extra this month.
Listen, I want to tell you something. First of all, you're awash in assets. And right now, just keep your money on hand. I don't even know. How much longer do you have on the 3 1/8 mortgage right now?
I have 9 years left.
Okay, calm down, please. You know what? I want to tell you something. I'm in the exact same place as you. I have like a little bit of I have a couple $100,000 left on a mortgage. And I know that you're like, I just want to pay it off. Just resist that. Resist that urge. I really think that your idea, you actually are so smart because essentially by the time you get to Medicare, because you're going to have your health insurance, you're very lucky, right? Then once you switch to Medicare, we want you to make sure that there's not as much income. So fine. And if we need to make income disappear, by the way, that rental income counts. It does count towards IRMA. I'm not saying it's like the worst thing in the world, but I bet you're in a pretty high tax bracket right now because you have your 180, you have the money from your rental, and then you have the other rentals. So you must be in 32%. Is that right? Yeah. And you're California. So, I think that it would be great to pop yourself down into the 24%. Is there some reason to keep the rental for your daughter?
It's my father bought properties, fixed them up, and then rented them out. So it's the mindset that I was raised with. When you buy property, you hold on to it. So yeah, that's the only reason. I
don't know. Mark, what do you think?
It sounds like she's gonna keep the rental properties, which whatever. It's not a lot of issues here. I would reduce that retirement account. It's a win-win. You reduce or eliminate your RMDs, and your pension benefit continues to grow.
Yeah, you're like the opposite of Silicon Valley Bank. You have both sides of your balance sheet moving in the correct direction, as opposed to Silicon Valley Bank, which had them moving in the wrong direction. So instead of a asset mismatch, you are perfectly asset matched, meaning your assets are rising and your liabilities will go down. And the liability is your tax liability, and that's a real liability. It's just not that much, and it's so awesome. The longer you can delay, the better you're going to be for this pension. But you can float this. I actually think that we're talking about 26, but I don't know. We'll see before the pension fires up. And then anything you want, if you want to help your daughter pay for this, you can afford to do that. You really can.
Increase that rent by at least $1,000.
Oh my God. I can only imagine. Is it a house or is there units in the house?
No, it's a house, and there I am increasing it. There are, rules in our county about how much you can increase a rent each year. So
Right. I've been so nice for the last 10 years and now it's going to bite me in the ass because I can't actually raise my rent because it's over a certain percentage. Like you are penalized for being a nice landlady.
If you sold that house for $900,000 and invested it and got, just say 6% a year, yeah, it's $4,500 a month. So you're definitely undercharging.
Yeah. I mean, even if we said 5%, 4%, it's just that you are in a big market where I know the asset values have gone up quite a lot. All right. You're in great shape. Fantastic. I love this game plan. Do you have your estate documents done?
I do, but I need to update them. I did them about 10 years ago.
Yeah, when your daughter was like 13 years old and you're like, okay, who's going to take care of her? So now if she got all of your money in one fell swoop, would that be okay? Could she manage it?
Yeah, I think she could. She's a pretty amazing young lady.
Okay. All right. Well, make sure you educate her about this because she is the heiress and that, she knows what she's doing. So you're in amazing shape. I love this. Mark, all I want to know is what is the pension benefit if she retires next year? This is your homework. Okay. You're in great shape. This is just for fun, but let us know. So Linda, if you said I retire in June of 24, and I do not work, I want to know what is the pension benefit in 5 years, in 2029 when you're 62. I would love to know what that max out number is.
I will tell you what it is. I'll do it as soon as we're off this call.
Okay, great. But you're in great shape. You're amazing. I'm so excited for you.
I am so excited that my thought process was accurate and I am on top of the world.
You are on top of the world. You are ready to rock and roll. What are you going to do for the next 35 years?
Whatever I want.
That is the best. We thank you so much for getting in touch with us. So if anyone else is listening and you have pension envy, believe me, we understand that. Mark and I always have pension envy. But if you've got a question about how to manage certain aspects of transitions, you can have a transition when you're 56, 46, or 36. It does not matter. But if you're wondering how to make a transition and how to build a game plan to make that transition, we'd love to hear from you. It's really one of my favorite questions. JillOnMoney.com. Click the contact us button. Let us know if you would be willing to come on the air. Don't forget to sign up for our free weekly newsletter. And of course, you must subscribe to our brand new service at Jill on Money Live tomorrow night. We are going to be starting our journey with all of you. The Jill on Money Live journey begins on March 30th, but you can join right this second. Okay, do something nice for someone else today. I know it will make that person feel good, and I guarantee it's going to make you feel good. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.